Why did Muslims lose some battles in history, even when they were strong or initially winning? We often hear stories of great Islamic victories, but we also need to understand the battles that Muslims lost, because those defeats came with powerful lessons from Allah. So let's go through the top 5 major battles Muslims lost, understand what went wrong, and what Islamic sources tell us about them. 1. Battle of Uhud, 3h. Opponents: Muslims versus Quraysh of Mecca. Location: Mount Uhud, near Medina. What happened? The Muslims were winning in the beginning. The Quraysh army started to flee, and it looked like victory was certain. But then, the archers placed by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, on the hill, disobeyed his direct command and came down to collect war booty. That's when Khalid ibn al-Walid, who was not yet Muslim, attacked from the back with cavalry, causing chaos. Many Muslims were martyred, including Hazrat Hamza. May Allah be pleased with him. Why did Muslims lose? Because of disobedience, impatience, and love for worldly gain. Quranic reference: and Allah certainly fulfilled his promise to you when you were killing them, until you lost courage, disputed about the command, and disobeyed after. Allah showed you what you love. Surah Al-Imran 3152. 2. Battle of Muta, 8ah. Opponents: Muslim army versus Byzantine Empire, Romans. Location: near today's Jordan. What happened? This was the first battle between Muslims and the powerful Romans. The Muslim army had only 3,000 soldiers, while the Byzantine army had over 100,000. Despite the difference, the Muslims fought bravely. All 3 appointed Muslim commanders, Zayd ibn Haritha, Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, and Abdullah ibn Rawaha, may Allah be pleased with them, were martyred. Eventually, Khalid ibn al-Walid took command and made a strategic withdrawal to save the army. Why was it considered a loss? It was not a defeat in courage or faith, but it was a military withdrawal due to being outnumbered. It showed Muslims cannot always win with bravery alone. Preparation and realism are needed. Reference: although there is no direct Quranic verse about this battle, Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim mention the appointment of the 3 commanders and their martyrdom. 3. Battle of Hunain, 8ah. Opponents: Muslims versus Hawazin and Thaqif tribes. Location: Valley of Hunain. What happened? After the conquest of Mecca, the Muslims had a large army, over 12,000 soldiers. For the first time, Muslims felt very confident in their numbers. But the enemy launched a sudden surprise attack from the valley, and the Muslims began to panic and retreat. Only a few stayed firm, including the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who called the army back, and eventually the Muslims regrouped and won. Why did Muslims almost lose? Because of pride and trust in numbers rather than trust in Allah. Quranic reference: on the day of Hunayn, when your great number pleased you, but it did not avail you at all. Surah At-Tawbah 9:25. 4. Battle of Yamamah, 11ah. Opponents: Muslims versus followers of Musaylimah. The liar. Location: Yamamah, Arabia. What happened? This battle happened after the Prophet's death during the Ridda Wars, when some false prophets appeared. The Muslims faced Musaylimah, a false prophet with a strong army. The battle was fierce. Thousands of Muslims were martyred, especially the Hufaz, those who memorized the Qur'an. Why was this a painful loss? Though Muslims won in the end, the casualties were massive. It was a wake-up call. Unity and preservation of the Qur'an were at risk. Reference: Caliph Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, ordered the compilation of the Qur'an after this battle because so many memorizers were killed. This is recorded in Sahih Bukhari. 5. Fall of Al-Andalus, Spain. Final stages in 1492. CE opponents: Muslim rulers versus Christian kingdoms. Location: Iberian Peninsula, modern Spain. What happened? Muslims ruled Spain for over 700 years, but in the later centuries, they became divided into small kingdoms, indulged in luxury, and lost Islamic values. Christian forces slowly recaptured Muslim lands. In 1492, Granada, the last Muslim stronghold, fell. Why did Muslims lose? Internal divisions, neglect of Sharia, focus on luxury and power over faith. Reference: Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. Muslims lost these battles not because of weak armies, but because of weakness in faith, disobedience, arrogance, or internal division. If we want to succeed today, as individuals or as an ummah, we must fix our how, relationship with Allah, follow the sunnah of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and avoid the mistakes of the past.